Hello, everyone. I promise I'm not going to make my soapboxes as frequent an occurrence as it would seem, as this one's coming out just, like a day or two since the last one. But I just woke up a few minutes ago, and I was thinking about the Milo Bill Maher real-time show last night, or at least the clips that I saw. I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed in Milo. I thought there was too much posturing. I mean, I've seen Milo do real debates before. I've seen Milo in, debate or discussion situations where, yes, he was witty, and yes, he was catty, but he was professional, and he was even-keeled, let's say. And there were moments last night in the interview that he did with Maher where some of that shined through. But, I don't know, there was a bit too much clown there for me. But, anyway, that kind of irritated me. I'd hoped for a more balanced or productive conversation, even if it was entertaining, and, it's hard not to have entertainment when Milo's around. But the thing that struck me most was the overtime segment. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that everyone go watch it. It's very interesting. There was a lot of contention there. There was a lot of sniping and biting and such. It was also very funny in a way, because in the interview Milo had with Bill Maher, they both made it very clear that, liberals are far too quick to, quote-unquote, take the bait when they're being trolled. And in the overtime segment, that's exactly what happened. Milo was trolling them, and they took the bait, Larry Wilmore in particular. Now, a lot of things were said between Larry Wilmore and Milo. There are things I agree with Larry Wilmore on, and there's things that I agree with Milo on. And there's things that I don't agree with Milo on at all. And there's things I don't agree with Larry Wilmore on at all. One of the things Larry Wilmore mentioned in the course of things, and I don't remember the exact quote, but he started talking about marginalized individuals. And as I watched this, I had to stop. I literally stopped the video, and I stopped it on a shot of the table of all 5 participants in the overtime thing. And I stopped and I looked at this picture in front of me. And setting aside the individual arguments for a moment, setting aside all the debate and all the contention, I recommend everybody look at this video, find a spot where the camera is looking at the entire table, and pause it. And look at the picture before you. 2 black men, a right-wing, by all accounts, conservative Republican, an atheist, a gay British Jew, Roman Catholic, sitting all together at a table on national television with a rapt audience, both in studio and around the world, more likely than not. And they're all speaking. They're all together. They're all being given the same platform. Now, do you think that this occurrence could have happened 20 years ago or 30 years ago? I don't think so. I'd be amazed if you could actually see that happen on such a stage. And I had to stop this morning as I was waking up and thinking about this and say, you know what? I'm not saying that there are no problems in the world. I'm not saying that there is no prejudice. I'm not saying that there is no divisiveness, because there is. But I think we have lots and lots of proof right before us that things might not exactly be as bad as some people are telling you. I mean, set aside the twice-elected black president of the United States. Set aside the 30-some-odd individual states of the Union that legalized gay marriage of their own volition before the Supreme Court did for the rest of us. Set aside all that. If you can, how much more proof do you need that things are different here in the West, in a Western democracy, in this place that we have so many people telling us it's so awful. And again, I'm not saying that we're all living in a utopia. But when it comes to the idea that if you are of a certain persuasion, you are automatically oppressed. If you think a certain way, if you love a certain way, if you look a certain way, that all doors are closed to you. I just wish people would stop for a second and understand it's only as bad as you want it to be sometimes. Yep, some people are being held down, economically, socially, and otherwise. It's true. But I think, I hope, I see it in my own life, that the balance is not tilted towards the bad as much as I'm told it is. Now, maybe I'm just being idealistic. Maybe I'm just being too hopeful for my own good. Maybe I'm naive. But I'll tell you what. If my idealism isn't based on fact, necessarily, but that is my hope and intent and my own feelings towards the world, then that's how I'm going to treat the world. And maybe, just maybe a little bit, that'll contribute to what I hope the rest of the world is or turns into someday, where you can have a black comedian, an atheist, and a gay, Jewish, Roman Catholic, transphobe sitting at a table together having a conversation that, while it may get animated, while it may not end up in people agreeing with each other, they're all alive at the end. They're all there willing to speak and go their separate ways afterwards. And it doesn't turn into something awful. That, in and of itself, as far as I'm concerned, is a really, really good sign. As always, thank you for listening.